to a new edition of Voldemort News. Today, October 16 of 2010, and news has been shocking a lot of media sources. Why? Because China is considering in becoming a democratic nation instead of being ruled by communism. Dana Diaz has all the information.
Thank you, Josie. I'm going to talk about the huge debate over universal values in China. We all think that China is a communist country because they want to. They feel comfortable with it. But the truth is that many people are starting to fight against the communist parties, and they are becoming more liberalist. They say that everything started since 2005, that means 5 years ago, that a newspaper published, and I quote, that it said, "Democracy is an outcome of the development of political civilization of mankind. It is also the common desire of people all over the world." Since then, people started revolting and taking sides, the liberalists and the conservatives. For example, in December of 2008, the liberal intellectuals and out-and-out dissidents signed a manifesto in support of universal values, and it was named the Charter 08. Since this was the year of the Olympic Games, so many people were starting to think of starting a democracy. Why not? But many people of the Conservative Party are starting to maybe change their minds too. Mr. Qin, who was giving maybe a conference to the China's intellectuals, said that instead of rallying the graduates, they should start thinking about the universal values like democracy and starting to become more Western civilization. I think that it is a very good thing because many people are starting to think that they should go better with the democracy because the Communist Party is starting to decay in China. The leaders are not so strong right now than what they were before, and now they have less power and less voice, and people in China are starting to change and become more Western. They are going to start to adopt the ideals of the Western civilizations. We still don't know, but maybe in hopes they will start to become a democracy. We hope so. And back to you, Josie.
Thank you, Diana Diaz, for the information. We have more interesting news, but one of them is that China and India have been debating for the borderline. And for this, Ruben Mejia has all the information.
Thank you, Josie. Here I am with Ruben, and we're gonna talk about the disputed border between China and India. Tell me, since when this problem began?
This problem began like in 1976, when both countries re-established their borders after war periods. Both countries have been rivals since then.
And why is it too hard to define the border?
Well, in this case, one of the reasons is that China and India have big armies, which makes agreements harder to be made. And another reason is that there are still some regions in that part that have not still been defined. For example, India claims a region called Ladakh, while China claims one called Arunachal.
And what are the possible solutions for this problem?
Well, it is necessary for both countries to settle their dispute, and both the Chinese and Indian parties have to be willing to meet soon in order to solve the dispute of the border.
Well, we'll see what happens with this problem. How will India and China solve their dispute is to be seen. We're going back to you, Josie.
Thank you, Ruben Mejia and Alejandra Teecha, for your contribution. Well, people, this is the end of this emission of Voldemort News. We hope you like this interesting news, and remember, this is the only channel that tells the truth.